It's the NFL playoffs on EA Sports, and we are at Wintry First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good AFC matchup in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. First carry for Nick Chubb.
Good running right there. And this is a man who's a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he's going to have a Browns first down as he's able to get this up past the 40. Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistently, they're tough to beat.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. A beautiful fake. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 48-yard line. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Second and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. Mayfield. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Emmanuel Ogbah drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. On to punt, Jamie Gillen. Back deep for Miami, Jalen Waddle. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 16. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Brissett. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Looking to pass. Tua. It's brought in by Harris. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up the 1st down.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Now make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Another try after the 1st down sack. Brissett. He'll get this out wide to Gaskin. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
On 3rd down, Brissett. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. We're scoreless after 1. Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. Landry now on the return. So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Mike 46. Mike 46. Let's go, defense. Let's go.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. That's It's out to Chubb, complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
If your sympathies lie with the defense, you understand how tough it is for linebackers to run with a guy like this. He's going to slip out of the backfield and then work in the middle of the field. And sometimes those defenders get preoccupied with other people moving, and he finds open space and makes a nice play.
They give the Chubb out of the gun. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From the 41, Mayfield, 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A gain there of 30 big ones.
I'm pretty sure any quarterback will tell you it's nice to have a tight end that can stretch the field. And how about him right there, working in the heart of the defense, and they connect on a very nice play downfield, a combination of talent and toughness to go into the briar patch.
First down, Mayfield. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a second down. Seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it 2nd and 10.
We got 4. We got 4. Mike by 5. Mike 55. Mike by 5.
Throwing. Mayfield. And he's got his tight end. It's Hooper for the Browns touchdown. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Browns will strike first here, this wild card matchup. And he clanks it off the right upright. And it's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
A nice run right there, and we talk this time of year about certain teams, certain players who don't have a lot of postseason history to speak of. And here's a man right here in his rookie season in the NFL, and he's being asked to carry the load at running back for this offense.
And he has acquitted himself nicely here in his rookie year. And look, I think we both believe that the burden's a little lighter on backs and receivers than it is on quarterbacks in the playoffs. But that's not to say this is going to be easy. As fast as the NFL game is in the regular season, it's like warp speed when you turn the pressure up in the postseason. So let's see how he handles things early.
And that'll kick and go out of bounds just outside the 15 at the 16-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well. Two minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs.
Let's go. Let's do this.
A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. And he'll take a shot here for Hooper downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Austin Hooper with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his second extra point here in the first half. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing, Brissett. It gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Tua finding Gesicki there for a Dolphin first.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Brissett again. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Following the interception, Mayfield. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55. Here we go. Mike 55, right there in the middle, 55. Come on, work.
Mayfield to throw it. Flush to his right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Mayfield looks to throw. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
A first down throw for Brissett. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Second and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Brissett on first down. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker. Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call. But they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to let it go again. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So we're at halftime in this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for the Browns TD. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why.
And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. Fielded just outside the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On play action, Brissett. Flushed out right. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
2nd down. Here's Chubb again. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 49 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll run with Chubb. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. To throw, Mayfield. They set up the screen to Chubb. He can't get him down. Touchdown! Nick Chubb. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Browns continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that will bump the lead up to 26. McCann's got it teed up. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. First down, Brissett. Eluding the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long. And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They hand this off to Harris. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Play fake, Brissett. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Remember, he had the interception earlier. Now he adds the sack. He's really making his presence felt out there.
Oh, he is putting together a heck of a game. In fact, he's going to bump these plays to his highlight reel. Okay, so when he wants to show it off later on, look what I did out there, guys. In this offense, they've got...
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Things just kind of continuing to unravel for him here in the second half. They take the shot downfield, but this defense, once again, up to the task.
Well, this is where you think about the old phrase, desperate times call for desperate measures, because they've got nothing on the scoreboard, and they're just trying to get something, anything to go their way. But in this case, they turn the ball over.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They run it again with Chubb. Chubb will have the first down and much more. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Browns get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. McCann's got it teed up. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here? And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Jadeveon Clowney, his second sack of the night. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Brissett. That is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because there hasn't been any. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down. Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Browns drive about to get started. And you'd have to say they have done what they set out to do in this wild card round. It won't get easier from here, of course, but they'll certainly have some momentum built up for when they hit the road in the divisional round next weekend. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They run again with Hunt. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. This will be fielded at the 17. 35 yards that time on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. Ronnie Harrison that time able to make the tackle.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Off the play fake. Here's Brissett. And this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Dolphins on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. Out left to Shaheen. He lost 2, and it brings up 4.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout.
So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 145 yards rushing for him now as he has been a central figure in trying to get his guys to the second round. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
On 2nd down, right back to Hunt.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. On 3rd down, here's Hunt. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
And losing in this wild card round, you know, they've got something to build on, though, for next year. But I don't know if they want to hear that right now.
Maybe not at the moment, but once they get away from it a little bit and they get into their off-season program, they'll start to talk about that. And I like how you framed it, building blocks, you know, building this program up. And one of my favorite coaches always talks about brick by brick, you build a program. And this is one of those bricks to build them towards the next season where they think they have a chance to advance farther in the playoffs.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Browns, and they're happy in the dog pound as we say so long from Cleveland.